Hello and welcome to the 2.4 release of Map for MindManager. My name's Nigel Galt. I'm the Managing Director of Olympic Limited, the company behind Map, and I'm also the lead developer. We're very pleased to bring you this new release, as with it we've reached one of the milestones that we've been aiming towards, which was to have Map contain 50 additional capabilities for MindManager, and 2.4 the release of 2.4 has now meant that we have met that milestone, and we're very pleased, and we hope that you enjoy and get a lot of value out of the things that we have added. So I'm going to move straight on to the major additions for this version, and the first one that we're going to look at is a functionality called Linked Map Rollup. Now, Linked Map Rollup enables you to create standalone maps from dashboards that you've created where you're hyperlinking to local maps. One of the reasons we've built this particular function is that with the release of MindManager 2017, MindJet have released an export capability to HTML5 formatted files, which can be opened with pretty much any modern browser. One of the current issues with that at the moment is if you are exporting a map where you have some submaps which are linked, then obviously the links don't work in the exported HTML5 format of the map, because the links are local and they're not obviously on servers. If the links happen to be to web-based storage locations such as Box or Dropbox, then that's fine. But if you're working with a local dashboard, then you lose the maps in the sub layers. So the link map rollup enables you to get around that for the moment. It also means that if you do have very simplistic dashboards like that, that it's a quick way of just being able to convert those multiple maps into a single file to share with a colleague, even if it's just via email or something like that. So let's have a look and see exactly how that works. I've got a very simple dashboard set up here. So we've got this is the top level map, and we've got 8 submaps attached to that. In one of these, which is on the project information map, I have another map attached within that, or linked to that as well, so you can see how the flow works. So what I'm going to do is pick the link map rollup command from the linking group on the map ribbon menu. I'm going to fire that up, and what you will find is each time you run this, you will just get a gentle reminder that says that actually you don't want to be doing this with maps that contain reciprocal hyperlinks. That is, maps where they have links back to the originating map that the link was clicked from. This is obviously because it can set up a situation where you can get caught into a loop. So we don't support that at the moment, but we are working on ways in which to bring that to you in another version. So I'm going to click continue for that, and you'll see that we get a progress dialog in the top right hand side of the desktop. And what happens is that basically that's going to go through, it's going to analyze all of the sub maps, it's going to have a look through, see if they've got any other maps linked to them, and when it comes across any map that is linked, it's actually going to interrogate that link, convert that into an attachment on that topic, and it's going to walk through that map structure backwards so that eventually it can save the top level map with attachments, and that will embed all of those attachments into the map. So you can see I already had some attachments on here, which was a bit of a mistake, but we'll go through it in the interests of time. So let's just let that finish. It's going through now, and it's restoring any of the original maps that it's tweaked. So we get the message box to say that that's confirmed, that's now taken place, and as you can see, we've now got on the top, we've got attachments where these files are linked. Now I've got them twice on here because they were already in place from the map that I tested prior to running the webinar. So if we now look at exporting this map to the HTML5 format, which I'm going to do very quickly. Once that's happened, I'm going to click open. Now that should open, for me it will open up in the Edge browser, I think, which is what I've got set as a default, and as you can see that brings in the map. It's brought in the hyperlinks. As I said, they're going to be dead because they're pointing to a local file that this map's or this file's got no access to, but we've also got the attachments. You can see it's brought in the double attachments because we had the 2. So what that now means is I can navigate through to any of these maps by clicking the attachment, and I'm seeing it in the browser. This was the map where I had added a further submap, so I can click on that attachment, and I'm now down into layer 3 of the actual dashboard. Using the back button on the browser, I can then move back to where I was before. Okay, so again, any of these maps now I can click on, go to the close map, and here I am. Again, with this nice new web browser that MindManager have created, gives us access to the notes as well. So we're very excited about the browser capabilities, and we hope there's going to be more development on that. There certainly will be from Olympic as MindManager extend its capabilities as well. So that's one of the reasons why you'd use that. As I say, another reason would be that you are able to consolidate simple dashboards of maybe 10-15 maps down into a single file, which just makes it easier to send to people rather than having to package all of those up into a folder and then extract them before they can be viewed. So that's linked Map Rollup. So moving on, the next one we've got is topic count. Topic count basically reports the number of subtopics from any selected topic that you run it on. It basically can include immediate subtopics and or all subtopics in the branch. So to show you how that works, we've got just a simple branch structure here. I'm going to select that. Excuse me. The topic count is on the topic actions group here within Map. And when I fire that up, I'm going to get some options that I can change. The first two are the labels for what we're going to reference. So as it stands, the defaults are children and descendants, but you can change those to be whatever you might want them to be depending upon what the topics represent. There's an option to include the children, the immediate children, in the descendants, which by default normally that would be the case, but you can choose to have them separated if you wish. And there's several different ways that the results can be displayed. You can just display a message box with them in, you can add them to the selected topic as a call out, or you can add them to the selected topic as topic properties. I'm going to go with all three of those for this particular example. So when we click on count topics, we'll see the message box comes up saying we've got 3 children and the total descendants is 7, because we've got the include child option checked. And then when we click OK, we get the call out added, and also the topic properties have been added as well. So this is a way of being able to bring in topic counts. We have got a function that will count topics, which is in the extended properties functions for Map. But this is another way of which you can manually count topics up and refresh them. So you can use topics of different categories, and with the properties it means that you can bring them quite quickly, and if you want to use those in auto calcs or other formula type driven aspects of your maps. So that's the topic count. The next one we're going to look at is multi-dependency. This basically enables you to set up one-to-many dependencies in your maps with a request by a map user. And basically what it enables you to do is, normally when you wanted to, if you wanted to say connect task 1 to have start to finish dependencies on task 2, 3, 4 and 5, you would have to individually select those topics and go into the task pane and use the dependency settings there for each time. So you'd have to go through that 4 times. So what the set multi-dependency option does is it allows you to select the topic. So if I wanted task 1, I make sure that that's the first topic that I select, and then I select the other topics that are going to effectively be the targets for that. I then use the set multi-dependency function, which is located on the topic actions group, and once again I'm given some options here to pick which dependency I want. So I've got start to finish, finish to start, as we would have in the task pane. So we'll leave it on start to finish, and I click set dependencies, and there you can see immediately I've now got task 1 and task 2, 3, 4 and 5 now have a dependency, which means that they need to be set on the start to finish of task 1. So again, very quick way of just speeding up processes when you're building task maps and that kind of thing with projects. So that's set multi-dependency. And finally, on the main ones we've got here is a thing we've called image extractor. Again, this has come from something we'd seen in one of the forums for MindManager, where a user had asked how they could potentially get the images and icons out of a map. Now you could do that singular, save them each, right click, etc. But we thought it would be great if there was a very quick way. If you've received a map from someone, it's got image content that you want to reuse elsewhere, might not necessarily be in a map, in MindManager, might be in another application or in a Word document, for example. We thought it would be great if there was a way that you could suck those images or icons out of the map, so that you can do that. So we created Image Extractor. It works on the complete map, and it's located under the Map Tools section of the ribbon. So when we click that, we get some options of where do we want to put the actual extract files to. So I'm just going to try and find somewhere to do that. Bear with me a second. We'll just put it into documents. Okay. So, oh no, don't want to go in that one. That's in the wrong one. Let me see. If I put it into that one. Let's put it into that one there. Okay. So I'm going to click to do the extract. As you can see, it's already happened. That's okay. And because I had that set to open up the folder, you can now see that I've got that folder here. And if I then go into here, you can see all of the images that were in the map. And if you look again here, you'll see, oh, I don't think I had the icon selected. Let's try that again. So we do image extraction. Yeah, I only had it selected for the images, so I'm going to do both this time. We've got delete any existing, open folder. Okay, so we've done it again. Go back into it, and this time we should be able to see that it's pulled out the icons as well. So that's, again, a very simplistic function, but it's something that enables you to pull collateral out of the maps if you do want to use it elsewhere, and do it very, very quickly. So that's the major additions for the 2.4 release. Let's just now take a look at some of the minor additions. What we've added on here is on the combined subtopics. We've added a command that will enable you to roll up immediate subtopics, but without destroying the selected topic. So again, we've added this to the combined subtopics here as roll up child topics, and when you run that function, it basically just takes the immediate subtopics, combines them into one topic in the order of which they were there. Again, very simplistic. This was a user request from someone who was using it quite often to consolidate maps down, so we thought that would be a useful thing to add for other users as well. So that's roll up child topics as an addition to the combined subtopics core command. We've also made some improvements with this release as well. The first of those is in the Google Search Plus function. Those of you who've used this will probably recall that at the moment, when you do a search using this function, you can only get a maximum of 10 results back for each search. So what we've done is we've improved that so that you can actually get more than the 10. So for example, if I change this now and say, okay, I'd like to see 15 results back based on my settings, I can go off and pull those results in now, and what I'll get is the 15 top results for that search term. What this does do when you use this, you must remember that if I just activate that again, you'll see that it's used 2 of my daily transactions on the Google API. That's because obviously I've had to do one for the first 10 and then one for the additional 5. So if I do a search on, say, 35 results to come back, then that's effectively going to use 4 transactions. So just be aware of that when you're using it. But it now means that you're able to bring in a larger quantity of results on a single search term with fairly straightforward capability. We've also changed it so that in the notes section we used to have a click more or click here for more link. What we've done this time is changed this now so that the actual links that are shown are actually the raw URL, so that you get to see everything that's in the URL, because sometimes that can be of a bit more use. So that's one of the improvements on the Google Search Plus. We've also made a slight improvement on the Topic Tracker Lite add-in. For those of you who've used that, when you use the topic tracker light function, you'll find that obviously, if I just have that selected, you'll find that it always came up with the topic tracker LE map part folder selected. So if you change that to another map part folder of your own, then each time that you fired the dialog, it would then revert back to this default folder. That's now been changed, so if you do have a designated folder in your map parts that you'd like to use, you can type that in here and that will be remembered across each session. So that's an improvement on that. And the other one is on the home topic. The home topic used to automatically zoom to a fit map setting, which effectively meant that it would zoom in quite a lot, quite considerably, and make the map jump around. So we've changed that now so that when you actually use that, it will move to the selected home topic, but it will do it at the current map scale, so it doesn't get zoomed in or out and jump around too much. So that's what we've got on the improvement side. Bug fixes, we've had one that was reported on the map sweep up here. Map sweep, for those of you who use it, obviously there are individual sweeps for different elements, and the individual sweep for relationships was not working correctly. So we have now fixed that so that that does function. It was working off of the main top button, which basically runs all your default sweeps, but not on that individual one. So that has been fixed. And again, on Topic Tracker LE, there was some issues with topics that had rolled up tasks that were being tracked. The track topic would not bring up the rolled up information into any of the subsequent topics that you created. So now that's been updated so that it will support any rolled up tasks that you have on the topic. And obviously, as usual, we've updated the help map, so all of the 2.4 information is now contained in here. When you open this, when you download the trial, by all means please do read this first option here, because this will detail what we've put in, what we've fixed, and is a running history of the changes to date, so you can see what's gone before. But that will give you an idea of what's been put in, as we've seen in the video, and obviously the links will take you directly to the individual elements wherever they are. As you can see here, they're labeled when they're updated or when they're new, and then you can view the information pertinent to each individual function at your leisure. So as I say, that's all been updated. And finally, as usual, on the map horizon, well, on the map horizon really is Map 3.0. Map 3.0 will be the next, what you would call, I suppose, major version update. We're looking for that for Q1 of next year, potentially the end of February would be the target for that, but it may slip to March. Obviously there'll be new functions, as there always is in a map update. We're working on a couple of nice ones that are quite involved, and we think that they're going to offer some real value to users, so we're quite keen to get those finished and get those out for you. And also we're going to revisit the interface and have another look at how we can start to fine-tune that and make it more user friendly, and hopefully combine some of the functions down so that there's not so much ribbon space taken up. As always, the commands are always added to the map task pane, which you've got here, so they're all within a single click away. So that's really it for 2.4 and for 3 coming up. I want to thank everybody for your support over the years that we've been doing Map. We really enjoy doing this for you guys. We get a real kick out of doing this sort of stuff. We're really pleased that MindManager 2017 is out now, and the HTML5 element has been added to that, because we think that really adds some potential future for us to be able to build some even more powerful functionalities that can help you with that kind of map delivery. So onwards and upwards. Thanks for your support. I hope to speak to you again at the early part of next year, and by all means have a great Christmas and a holiday. It's a bit early for that now, November, but it's going to be here sooner than we think, and I look forward to catching up with you all in the new year. Thank you.